My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia, chapter 361, Deku versus All for One. We open up with a very well-drawn color page. And we move on to the chapter itself. I thought Josh was going to break in there.
Oh, no. I'll save that for my thoughts at the end.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thanks, though.
Yeah, I tried to give you a good in, but let's get into it. We start off with how Deku got to the battlefield in the first place. Something we probably could have surmised at a point. I think we figured this out. The airships that worked with Stars and Stripes flew in, and they're like, "Come on, buddy, let's go together." And Deku hitches a ride with them. They talk about how they were apparently guarding the skies of UA, but
Right. Time out. Okay. So, I'll be honest with you guys, all right? Totally honest, not sarcastic. When I first seen the Jets pull up in the last chapter, I'm not going to front. One of my first thoughts was, where did they come from? Where was these Jets at? Because that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, that's just crazy that they would just come out of nowhere to support Deku. That's fair, so random.
I will say this. They were in Japan. After Star and Stripe died, they touched down there, and they gave them all the information on Shigaraki.
Or the Jets, and they could go really fast from America to Japan.
No, they were still in Japan
this entire time. Shit, right? Or who really cares?
They were in Japan.
Who really cares? One of those, maybe.
No, they blatantly said that they were gonna fly. They were supposed to fly back to America, but they stayed to ensure that the heroes win in Japan because of Stars and Stripes. That's literally what they said.
All right. Yeah. That is what they said. Now, because I am honestly an asshole, I was being sarcastic the entire time. I don't understand why Horikoshi... I should have saved this for my thoughts. I don't understand why Horikoshi feels the need to let us know, like somebody was going to be like, no fucking way, where did those jets come from? Why would he point that out, that they were there in that little... First of all, that doesn't look like a jet. If we're just... You want to play that game, Horikoshi? This unnecessary... This is a contrivance right here.
Is it?
It's got to be a contrivance, Chris.
No, it's not a contrivance.
That's not you. That doesn't even necessarily prove that was a jet. But why? That's not a contrivance, I guess. But boy, I wish it was. So I could use my favorite word.
We've seen to a lighter degree, we've seen Jujutsu Kaisen do the same thing, where they over-explain a little point where we're like, "I would have bought it, bro. You didn't have to say that. It's okay."
This was the most insignificant. This is the most insignificant pull I've ever... And then he had the... There's no other way to interpret this, guys. He gets the little panel. I should have saved this for my thoughts. I'm gonna do this next time. I'm sorry, everybody. But listen, he throws this little square there in the corner, like the evidence. Like, yeah, if you go back to that chapter, you'll see... From that, he doesn't even say what page, like a real American comic does. Hey guys, check out chapter such and such from so and so.
Well, to be fair, none of them do. None of them do that.
In the manga?
No mangaka does that, where they're like, check.
No, but he's trying. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if he's trying to go for the whole, this is like American comics.
I mean,
you fucked up both ways, bro.
I think he's just. There's nothing wrong with kind of giving them like a stake in the fight, like it's not like they're just gonna show. What are they, just robots? They just show up and then don't say shit.
My thing is, I don't care.
We fly jet. They come to help you get there. Okay, that job done. Like, are they not
Brian, you're missing the point.
Are they not human beings, bro? They're just fucking robots to you.
I'm cool with the jet niggas. They fly. No pun intended. Really, no pun intended. For real. But,
so they fly there and they're like,
they gangster, because he even says like, all right, we were supposed to be. This could have been a lit scene that was completely ruined for me by Horikoshi trying to like prove that they were there. And it's like, no one cares that they really were there or not. Like, they here now. They're in jets. They're flying around the fucking world. They were on their way. And they ran into Deku. And no one needed proof on that. Not one fucking person on this planet needed that.
I feel like you're reading into it too much. You're reading into it way too much.
That.
Like, I honestly, I didn't even notice this when I first read it. Like, you're ODing right now.
I did. Well, you know what? It's because I was set off by something else already. And then it was like a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, Josh has a very easy domino effect on his rage. All it takes is for one thing to piss him off to continue pissing him off for perspective 15 other pages. So that was page 2.
That's some old school. That's some vintage.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, Deku flies off and he basically Spider-Man's his way through the jets until he arrives. And now we're in the present. Him and Shigaraki are clashing. He manages to kick Shigaraki so hard that he tumbles. He like bounces into a giant weird mechanical thing. And he catches a glimpse of the flowing energy that off of Deku, and he notices it's from the Fajin guy, and he's like, I've seen that before. And now that there's like a minute to kind of settle in and take everything in, Deku notices that all of the supporting characters are defeated on the ground. Bakugo in particular is still dead, but he's getting resurrected, so
he's on his way.
Yeah, so
Bakugo's on his way.
He is on his way. He's looking at the rest of the carnage. Best Genius is just barely standing up. Nejire's down. Sun Eater's down. Miriko's down. And then All For One continues to talk his shit. He's like, got some excuse for being late?
Look at that pose he takes.
Yeah, he has a cool pose.
I didn't notice that before.
Yeah.
It's on all fours like a fucking spider or something.
Yeah, the faces of his family that are his fingers are facing the grass at this point, which is super disrespectful. It's so mean, I would say. And
look at what Midoriya has to look at. Like, he looked at all his homies dead, but like, look at this Shigaraki in front of him. He's just like, what? What is this life? I wonder if he ever like takes a moment to think about
how weird his life is.
Yeah, and how I don't mean this like I'm not taking the shot, but like just how fast things have progressed. You know what I'm saying?
He's like,
even Shigaraki, he looked completely different the last time you seen him. He's like, what is that?
Yeah, he's just like, this all escalated quickly again.
Again, yeah.
So yeah, he starts raging out, like he did in the first war, and that's when Shigaraki's like, when you stoke one's anger, his move gets pathetically simplistic. So he still continues to talk his shit. He's like, I admit it, you left the present, I got you right. Mirio pulls up and is like just trying to talk him through. He's talking about like, I get it, you're fucking sad, but you gotta stop. You're gonna fall into his trap again. It's okay. Tamaki and them are still kicking. And right now, Edgeshot is trying to save Bakugo's life. Nobody's giving up. And Shigaraki's like, endless sanctimony, the empty talk. All to avoid facing facts and reality and logic. Why don't you use your logic, bro?
That's definitely awful one.
Yeah.
I missed the video game talk from Shigaraki.
Yeah. So Deku starts to calm down. He starts to take all this in. And it's kind of nice. He's just like, all right, I'm calm now. And he apologized to the Lemillion. He says, sorry about that, Lemillion. He says, save your stars until after we win this, hero. He does the nose thing. And we end on the splash page of Midoriya using all of the All For One, One for All vestiges behind him. and he's got this cool pose going, and he says, "Is Shigaraki still in there?" And that's where the chapter ends. Shortest chapter. I mean, actually kind of a longer chapter than we've gotten in a while. This is actually a standard chapter, 18 pages.
Well, if you take away the 2 color pages.
Well, the 2 color pages technically count as 1, right? Or am I bugging?
Oh, maybe.
Am I bugging on it? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, because then that white blank page of My Hero Academia is already 2.
That's
when
true.
we start the page, it's on 3.
All right, well, fuck me then, okay? How about that?
It's not your fault.
Could be.
Not your fault, Chris.
All right. Well, let's do this. Josh, what did you think about My Hero Academia chapter 368?
I was immediately perturbed by the color
67.
by the color picture.
Mm-hmm.
I had to call Christian prior to the podcast. I remember I was in the bathroom, and I was just like, "Yo, like, why am I so angry at this picture?" And I had some time to really think about it, and I think it's because I really want to enjoy the picture. Looking at all these characters together, it's like a random mix of it's got some of the mainstays, except for the Kaminari. He's kind of random. He's like the most random one out of all of them. But I thought it is like actually a nice picture that's very homey and familiar, but it just makes me sad because I feel like this is about to end and we're not getting anything else but this fight. So it just, I think that's what it was. It just kind of bothered me, and I guess that's why I had little patience for Horikoshi's antics of trying to give proof to the fact that the American jet fighters were around by circling this small pebble. I believe that it's a jet. You guys believe it's a jet. But could it pass in the court of law?
Well, who could actually care though? Like, I didn't even notice that this little panel here was just for you, Josh. Horikoshi was like, "Fuck this dude, Josh. He's gonna see this, and I want him to boil his fucking blood." Because you are the only person I feel like in the entire world that is upset about this little panel.
It can't just be me, man.
It is you. It is just you, Josh. This was Horikoshi. This is Horikoshi coming for you, Josh. He found your weakness.
How about we do this? On a scale of 1 to 10, how unnecessary was this proof? Yeah, I know how I'm feeling. Kind of on a heavy 10 on this one for me. What about you, Chris? Where are you leaning? Mr. Unbiased King.
On a level of unnecessary? I've never measured anything.
Today's your first day on the podcast.
I've never measured anything on a scale of unnecessary.
Okay.
4? I don't think it was that crazy.
All right, how about this? On a scale of 1 to 10, how not important is it to be this upset about this on a scale of 1 to 10? Because I say that's a 10. I think this is a
objectively 10. Or subjectively?
Both. I feel like there's no point in
being subjectively. I'd say a 1.
There's no point in being upset about something so small. It's literally just one single panel in the corner of this page. Like,
I'll tell you what.
You choose the weirdest things to be upset about.
I was mad,
dude.
Bro. I was tight. What the fuck do you want me to say, Brian?
I'll tell you what. I read this chapter. I read past that page. Didn't think about it a second time.
Exactly. Josh, every time you get upset at My Hero Academia, it's for the weirdest shit sometimes. You'd be like, "Oh, fucking, did you see what fucking Deku was wearing, bro? Did you see him with that fucking scarf of his?"
It was raggedy and dirty. Yo, I just wanted him to have his own shit, all right?
Like, Horikoshi could do something actually terrible in a chapter, but you would get upset at the smallest other thing that did not deserve to be upset at.
Brian, this was actually terrible.
Terrible. terrible.
I wonder what the original translation was to reach history's nastiest villain and kick his butt. I wish they said something a lot cooler than that.
Well, they don't tend to curse on the official releases, unfortunately. So the scanlators probably did something a little more. But yeah, I don't know. What else did you have? What else did you think about this chapter, Josh?
I thought it was genuinely hilarious and lifted my spirits a little bit as I read this again and noticed that he was thinking those thoughts of fear of the glowing of Midoriya's glowing body as he was bouncing. You know what I'm saying? So sure, he got rocked to a couple blocks down and stuff, but he had the time to think about it. You know, that's fear. That's fear.
Yeah.
Shigaraki, he's all for one. Whoever the fuck this weirdo is.
Looks like it's more
y'all know
all
what
for
time
one.
it is. He's about to get. Yeah, he's about. It's more all for one, Brian.
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah,
you said?
it's more all for one at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need help, Josh. You need help. I said it for people who aren't watching the video. I said it's more all for one. Josh looked at it. I've never seen someone so heartbroken in my life.
I'll tell you what. Sometimes part of watching the video, you gotta subscribe to us on YouTube, guys, because part of the joy of watching this show is Josh's subtle faces that he makes.
He looked like
Josh will allow 10 seconds of dead air so that he can get a physical face. Tell his thoughts for him.
We all express ourselves differently.
That's true. Hey, I love it, to be honest. Keep
Brian
going.
does it through his Adidas beanie cap. I do it through facial expressions. You know?
Brian's Adidas beanie cap is what gives his emotions.
And his bedroom aesthetic.
Mm.
my bedroom aesthetic.
So when you have the light off. Anyway.
Hold on, let me turn off the light.
No, don't do it, Brian.
Back to my actual thoughts on the chapter. My official, real, serious thoughts. So you said Midoriya went Super Saiyan like this last time in the first war? There we go.
Yeah. When
Brian is now in the darkness.
Yeah, you know, the first time Bakugo sacrificed himself for the greater good, Midoriya went
first time
ape shit. Yeah.
The first time he narratively died, because that's what he did narratively.
Well, you know, it's funny. It is funny that they repeated that same exact thing happening to Bakugo in this. But go on.
You say funny? That's the word you chose.
Interesting. Interesting, funny, you know, however you want to describe it. You go on, Josh. You finish your thoughts.
I'm the ultimate hater, all right? I said it. And I hated so hard my phone dropped.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. I'll relax. Because I thought it was actually really funny that the Midoriya had the black whip in his mouth, like gagging him. I was like, oh, okay. What's up, Horikoshi? What you trying to tell us with Midoriya? But it looked kind of crazy. And I thought he was about to start raging again. I didn't think he was going to get his spine broken by this guy, by All For One / Shigaraki. So I was expecting him to go berserk. Then Lemillion came out of nowhere. So I think this was also another one of those scenes that probably could have hit a little bit harder. But I still appreciated it regardless. I don't really have anything critical to say about it. I thought, yeah, it makes sense that, you know, he doesn't have to throw punches and make his body intangible through Shigaraki's to end the fight now. You know what I'm saying? What he can do. You know what's crazy? It didn't start off as being like a backhanded compliment, but then I started thinking about it like, why can't he make himself intangible through Shigaraki's head or something? Is that not enough? Would that not kill him?
What do you mean? Like punch through Shigaraki's, like go through Shigaraki's head and then get solid again?
And then, yeah. Like, sure, maybe Lemillion would also have a grave injury in the process, but that's the type of sacrifice you make, right?
I guess.
For the world?
In theory, he could do that. I guess.
I'm actually genuinely curious that maybe there's something about his ability that he can't or he just won't because he won't kill him. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe it's more that.
I guess he won't kill him. That's fine and fair. I really don't have an issue with that. So it would be Lemillion to talk him out of it, and then like how Deku got straight to the point and was just like, all right, before I unleash everything on you, and I mean everything because I got these goons in the back and they've been showing me some stuff. Is Shigaraki still in there? I hope I hope the next chapter opens with him in his weirdo stance and he's like, yo.
No.
And Vita Rhea just starts fucking him up. That'd be really cool.
That would be really
That'd
funny.
Really cool.
I would honestly
That'd be
like
really
that as well. If he was like,
That lifts my spirits.
No.
no.
Foolish boy.
Just one big word bubble for one word, and that's no. Just no, it's small. The word no is like regular font. It's like, yeah.
But a big,
Like fine print.
Yeah. No. And then Midoriya fucks him up.
Fucks him up and forces him to his new form.
Yeah.
Or whatever bullshit is up in this guy's sleeve.
Oh, there's a new form waiting.
Oh yeah. And then Bakugo's gonna revive when Midoriya's on the ropes or something. Because Midoriya didn't want to kill Shigaraki. Shigaraki's gonna be like, the boy's gonna come out and be like, wait, don't punch my face in.
That boy's gonna come out and be like, no.
No.
Right. I don't want to roast My Hero Academia anymore.
All
Brian,
right.
what did you think about this chapter? Oh, I'm sorry, Josh. Did you have any?
No, that's it. As much shit as I had to say, I like the direct. I'm ready for Midoriya to punch this guy's head in, especially since One Piece is off next week. My Hero can carry a lot of weight if it wants to, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Feels like it.
Brian, what did you think?
I thought this chapter was actually pretty decent. It was nice to see Lemillion has been kind of like the heart of the battle so far, which is pretty fitting for his character at this point. Like, he's the guy who's been kind of holding everybody together at this point. Like, he's the
glue.
He's been like the ultimate support.
I disagree. I'm sorry I'm talking through you speak.
No, it's fine. What do you disagree with?
I think the real MVP, the real glue to all of this has been the copycat kid.
That's true.
Without him, none of this, nothing would work. Midoriya would probably lose this fight if it wasn't for him.
Yeah,
I agree, but like I'm more so like with what's going on so far. Like overall, I'd say, what was his name? Fucking Mineta? No,
Mineta's the other guy. No, Mineta's the grape juice kid.
Fucking forgot this guy's name.
Damn, Monoma,
there you go. Monoma overall is of course like the MVP. He's been tearing it up lately. Like, he has been an important, crucial piece to things for a while now. Like, people bring him in to like be like a quirk expert. Like, I really love Monoma, but so far during the battle, Mirio has been the person to kind of change the tide or to like keep people straight. Like, always setting people up for success. Like, he has, and him calming down Deku in this chapter as well. He's really finding his place right now, and that's what's pretty good because he's always felt kind of lost. And honestly, I feel like if Mirio was all for one here, was one for all here, I don't know if Shigaraki can beat him, to be honest. I just don't think he can. Because if he had like All Might strength, this fight would be a lot more like hero sided, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. And I think and I really love the final page. The final page with Deku kind of in his crybaby face with all his predecessors behind him. That was a pretty sick panel. These like last pages for My Hero lately have been really fucking good. And I like what he's trying to convey with like the emotion on their faces and shit too. Like Banjo looks fucking sick. He's like, "Yo, I'm coming back for you, bitch. You thought I wouldn't come back, motherfucker, but I'm here." Like they just all look so fucking cool, and I'm excited to see what the second One for All's quirk is
First.
too.
Oh well, technically I guess second, because the first one is the little brother guy.
Yeah, he's second. But yeah, that's all I have to say about My Hero. Is a decent chapter. I'm excited to see what happens next.
Oh right. Well, I guess I'll get into my thoughts. I thought this chapter was also pretty decent. Nothing overly crazy. It's nothing I didn't see coming. I feel like this is like a thing in manga, you know, like the hero gets there, sees all the carnage, and then loses his mind a little bit. We've all been there. Luffy just had that moment, but didn't lose his mind. But you know, with that Kinemon thing, they all had that Goku in the Saiyan Saga moment, where they come in on the Nimbus cloud and they're like, "My friends, they've all been defeated." So I guess that was this moment for My Hero Academia. I like that he immediately smacked Shigaraki. Pretty cool. I guess using Fajin's power and having Shigaraki actually be a little worried is kind of cool in the moment. The jet stuff didn't bother me all that much, I guess, but I get what Josh is saying to a degree, where I'm like, well, it goes to show like the whole explanation thing to begin with is like, well, I could have surmised that he took the jets here. It would have been fine. The whole flashback in general was just like fine. I'm not all that invested in the jet people to give them that big of a dog in the fight. I get why they're there. They're there to avenge Star and Stripe. That's fine with me. I don't know. I guess like you could argue it's unnecessary. So, but I wasn't all that torn up about it. I feel like this is a thing that makes sense to explain. But I could have surmised it in general. We saw the jets in the last chapter, and we could be like, "Oh, he came here on the jets. We don't need to go crazy about it." But yeah, the art's still great. I like that Lemillion had a hand in like calming him down, being the Katara in that sense when Aang was going to the Avatar state for the first time. I appreciated that, you know, because I guess that is a little cliche as well for Deku to just like lose control and beat on Shigaraki for a minute before he gets his shit together. So I'm fine with it. Next chapter, I guess the final battle begins, and that's exciting. No breaks for My Hero Academia this week, so I'm expecting it to do well next week in our terms. I feel like this is like a chapter that needed to happen, and a chapter we've a little bit read 1,000 times in different series, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I do like the little respect they gave to Monoma, showing him again, still working, still like fucking using Aizawa's quirk to slow down Shigaraki, and the fact that nobody's given up yet. Even Best Genius in that one panel, even though he's like fucking, he can't walk anymore, you see him activating his quirk and trying to use it in any way, shape, or form.
And you could tell, like, it was
yeah,
it looked faint. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Even the strands looked faint. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wilting.
See him trying.
You know, there's these cool moments in here. So I thought it was okay. So nothing crazy, just a shonen chapter. You know, we get these sometimes. A very shonen chapter. But that's all I got to say about it. Any rebuttals? Anything else to say?
Brian?
Nope.
Okay, I'm not gonna go on a long spiel. I had this thought in my head, really this dream that like, if maybe during the mini time skip when Midoriya was out on his own, you know what I'm saying? I would have really liked if we got like an arc. You know how they did the My Villain Academia?
Mm-hmm.
It would have been really cool if they did an arc like that for class 1B. And it didn't have to be long and drawn out, but it could have showed it could have. You could have set it around Monoma and a few of the key like 1B characters doing something like seeing how, the state of the land and dealing with infernal villains. There would have been a reason for them to be out there doing stuff and us seeing them and seeing how they've grown or what they're working on. And I had and I thought about all of this because with Monoma specifically, right? He's in my mind, he have copy abilities are some of the coolest because there's a lot of how do you put it, mind games with it when you're fighting against somebody with their own ability. To be able to beat them with it, you had to really, you know, think it through. You can't just run into them, with their own shit. They're gonna, they're comfortable with it. They know how to use it better than you, et cetera, et cetera. So Monoma, anybody with that type of ability is really interesting to me anyway. So like when I think about Monoma, it would have been nice if like part of his character arc during that supposed 1B arc would be like him struggling, like with him like having such a great quirk, but his main struggle maybe being stamina and endurance, right? And that maybe not working as hard enough because he talks too much shit or something like that. And this moment for him being there with Aizawa, truly being the MVP, would have been that without him having a fight, it would have been that sign of growth, that's paid off from him in that arc before. Because he's been holding it down this entire time and having to watch his comrades die. Ain't nothing funny or slick or sarcastic about that. This is a big deal for Monoma, and it's I hope this what I'm saying kind of articulates the my feelings towards the series of just the, in my opinion, of wasted potential. That's what it kind of comes down to. Is that I've seen a lot for these characters that just didn't go down the way I thought. Sorry, I don't mean to rehash these thoughts again and again, but I thought I just wanted to get my thought on that.
Yeah.
Still proud of Monoma. Still proud of him.
Definitely.
Could have been deeper though.
Definitely.